In late summer, after nesting periods for the birds, pit number 1, the largest quarry pit, was reprofiled to increase water margins for wading birds. The existing island was flattened out and its edges extended to create inlets and shallows. Reeds from the nursery pools are now ready for planting out throughout the reserve. Much of the work is carried out by volunteers who play an important role in the reserve's development in every aspect. Volunteer hours from the start of the project in 2008 until this summer 2011 total over 5,500. Temporary wire cages are placed around the reeds to prevent grazing by the site's resident waterfowl. However, it's not all hard work. Often distractions can be found on a nature reserve. Masses of tadpoles catch the eye.
It's very tiny fleas here. I mean, exceptionally good predators.
You're talking about the difference between toad poles and frog poles.
There's a leech there.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and there's another one as well in the.
Look at the size of that. There's just ones that are just a bit bigger.
Or a leech looking for its next victim.
They sort of shimmer.
Or a minute spider.
The abdomen markings are a bit like Arrhenius. It's in the wrong.
But they're all curled up. They're not doing anything. They're just ready to.
That's absolutely mad, that, isn't it?
That's absolutely. Come on, I'm greedy.
More serious observations and recordings of the site's diverse flora also take place. Recordings have clocked up over 165 varieties of flowering plants. Other recordings have included 172 bird, 4 amphibian, 9 mammal, 18 butterfly, 82 moth and 19 damsel and dragonfly species. The visitor village starts to take shape, like a giant Meccano set. All the timber used comes from sustainable sources, and during construction, all waste materials from the site were kept to a minimum and recycled where possible. To allow visitors to explore all parts of the reserve, a network of over 5 kilometres of roads and paths were planned and constructed using recycled aggregates. Reserve manager Sophie gets to try out the pathways on her new toy. The cycle of reed growing continues with the harvesting of reed heads, which are grown on in the polytunnel. Over 84,000 reed seedlings have been propagated at Brockholes to date, and 41,000 planted out on the reserve for the benefit of reed warbler, sedge warbler, reed bunting, and the moth species which favour reed bed as their home.
Like mud, come and volunteer at Brockholes.
It's one of our nicer jobs. Used to clean this polytunnel.
Why are you looking at me?
Construction of the visitor village continues throughout all weathers. Throughout construction, the Wildlife Trust encouraged potential users to view the site. And new staff were encouraged to explore every angle. Underneath the labyrinth of scaffolding, the visitor village takes shape. The innovative design by Adam Khan Associates takes its inspiration from artists' images of Iraqi marsh Arabs and creates a village-like cluster floating on a large pontoon. There are over 500,000 English oak shakes on the building roofs. Some of the reserve's feathered inhabitants get their own special accommodation. The building of an artificial sand martin wall and a family-friendly hide on pit number 1 will bring visitors into close contact with this long-distance African migrant. Nesting tubes have been installed to give these charismatic little birds an ideal des res at the start of the breeding season. In its first year, the War was home to 20 pairs of nesting sand martins. The final phase of construction is the floating of the visitor village. The pontoon displaced 6.1 million litres of water, enough to fill 3 Olympic swimming pools. With its sustainable approach to design and construction, not surprisingly, Brockholes achieved a Building Research Establishment Outstanding Award for the highest level of sustainability. The Lancashire Wildlife Trust's vision for Brockholes is a place where people of all ages can come and get closer to nature. The first chapter has now come to an end, but the story of Brockholes Nature Reserve has only just begun.
I like going on the playground on the big swing and going up in the woods, up high in the woods. The birds, they're in the big